my beloved child. If your heart has been asking, "Lord, why is everything taking so long?" then stay with this message until the end. There are moments in life when it feels as if heaven has gone silent. You pray, but nothing changes. You knock, but the door remains closed. You wait, but the answer never seems to arrive. In those moments, it is easy to believe that you have been forgotten. But what if the delay is not a sign that God has abandoned you? What if the very thing that has been frustrating you has actually been protecting you? Today, reflect on this truth with me. Sometimes what feels like a setback may actually be a season of preparation. A closed door today can become the reason you walk through the right one tomorrow. Think about the moments you wished had happened sooner. Relationships that never worked out. Opportunities that disappeared. Plans that suddenly fell apart. At the time, they may have felt like painful disappointments. Yet looking back, how many of those moments later made sense? There are blessings that arrive only after our hearts have grown strong enough to carry them. Perhaps this season is not empty after all. Perhaps it is shaping your character, strengthening your faith and preparing you for something you cannot yet see. Many people give up just before the breakthrough they have been praying for. They mistake waiting for rejection. They mistake silence for absence. But silence is not always the absence of God. Sometimes silence is where wisdom grows, patience deepens, and courage is formed. Every day you continue to hope instead of giving up. You are becoming someone stronger than yesterday. Every prayer you whisper is not wasted. Every tear that falls is not unnoticed. Every moment of waiting can become part of a greater story than you imagined. Imagine a traveler standing before a bridge that appears safe. From where he stands, everything looks normal. He grows impatient because he cannot cross. What he cannot see is that beyond the fog, the bridge has already begun to collapse. If someone lovingly stops him from moving forward, would that delay be punishment or would it be protection? Life often feels that way. We see only today's disappointment, while God sees tomorrow's danger and tomorrow's blessing. So instead of asking only, "Why is this taking so long?" perhaps ask, "What am I becoming while I wait?" That single question can change the way you see this season. Because waiting is never only about time, it is also about transformation. Your faith is becoming steadier. Your wisdom is becoming deeper. Your compassion for others is growing because you now understand what hardship feels like. One day, someone else will be discouraged, and you will have the words that give them hope because you once walked through the same valley. Nothing is wasted, not your waiting, not your prayers, not your struggles, not even your tears. The delay may feel heavy today, but it does not define your future. It is only one chapter, not the whole story. So if this message has encouraged you, take a quiet moment today. Breathe. Pray. Trust that even when you cannot see the path ahead, God still sees the destination. And remember this, the right blessing at the wrong time can become a burden, but the right blessing at the right time can change your life forever. My beloved child, there is something you have not been able to see, and that is why your heart has struggled to understand this season. You have been measuring your life by what has not happened yet, while heaven has been measuring your life by who you are becoming through the waiting. Every sunrise that came without the answer you expected was not an empty day. Every moment you thought nothing was changing, something was quietly changing within you. Growth often happens in places where human eyes cannot see it. Consider the seed buried beneath the soil. To someone standing above the ground, it appears as though nothing is happening. Days pass, rain falls, the earth remains still. Yet beneath the surface, roots are reaching deeper before the first green leaf ever appears. If the seed tried to force its way upward too early, it would never become strong enough to survive the storms ahead. Your life can feel the same way. The deepest work often happens where no applause is heard and no visible progress can be measured. You have wondered why others seem to move ahead while your own journey feels slower. You have compared your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 20. You have watched doors open for people around you while yours remained closed. But comparison has a way of stealing peace from a faithful heart. The path prepared for one person is not the same as the path prepared for another. Every journey has its own timing, its own lessons, and its own purpose. What arrives quickly for someone else may not be what is best for you. Instead of asking why someone else received their blessing first, remember that your story is uniquely yours. The author of your life has not forgotten the next chapter. There are moments when delays protect you from choices that would have seemed right in the moment, but would have led to unnecessary pain. Sometimes what appears to be a missed opportunity becomes the very reason a greater opportunity remains possible. Many people only recognize protection after they have already passed through the difficult season. One day, you may look back and realize that the unanswered prayer was actually the answer. The closed door kept you from walking into something that was never meant for you. The unexpected detour brought you to people who strengthened your faith instead of weakening it. The waiting gave you wisdom that success alone could never have taught. So do not mistake preparation for abandonment. Preparation is often quiet. It doesn't always announce itself with dramatic signs. It is found in the small choices you make every day, to remain kind when you are disappointed, to keep praying when you feel discouraged, to keep loving when life feels uncertain, and to keep believing that goodness still lies ahead. Those small choices shape a strong heart, and a strong heart is able to carry blessings that would have overwhelmed an unprepared one. If today feels ordinary, do not underestimate it. Great stories are rarely built in a single extraordinary moment. They are built through thousands of faithful moments that no one else notices. The person you are becoming today is preparing you for the responsibilities of tomorrow. So lift your eyes beyond the delay. Do not let temporary disappointment convince you that your future has disappeared. Hope is not built by seeing every answer immediately. Hope grows when you choose to trust even while the full picture remains hidden. Keep moving forward one step at a time. Keep showing compassion. Keep speaking words of life. Keep believing that, even in seasons of waiting, your life still has meaning and purpose. Because the chapter you are living now is not the ending, it is the quiet beginning of something much greater than you can presently imagine. My beloved child, now you are beginning to understand that the delay was never meant to destroy your future. But there is another truth you must hear, because this is where many people lose hope. The greatest battle is often not around you, it is within you. Long before your circumstances begin to change, your heart is being invited to change. There are seasons when it feels as though nothing is moving. The prayers sound the same. The mornings look the same. The struggles seem endless. Day after day, you wonder if anything is different at all. Yet beneath the surface, something remarkable is taking place. Your perspective is changing. Without even realizing it, you are becoming less dependent on temporary things and more focused on what truly lasts. The things that once controlled your emotions are slowly losing their power over you. The opinions that once defined your confidence no longer carry the same weight. This quiet transformation is one of the greatest gifts hidden inside the waiting. Many people ask for a miracle, but few ask to become the kind of person who can carry that miracle with wisdom and humility. Imagine someone receiving everything they ever wanted before learning gratitude. Imagine receiving influence before learning kindness. Imagine receiving success before learning patience. Those gifts could easily become burdens instead of blessings. That is why preparation matters. Every lesson you are learning today is becoming a foundation for tomorrow. Do not underestimate the ordinary moments, every act of kindness, every decision to forgive instead of holding on to bitterness, Every moment you choose hope instead of despair. These small decisions are quietly building the future that you cannot yet see. Sometimes the greatest victories are invisible at first. No crowd applauds them, no headlines announce them, yet heaven sees every faithful step. Perhaps you have been asking, when will everything finally change? But consider another possibility. What if the change has already begun, not around you, but within you? The strongest trees are not built during calm weather. They grow stronger because they endure the wind. Their roots reach deeper every time the storm refuses to stop. In much the same way, difficult seasons can deepen your character. They can teach compassion, perseverance, and wisdom that comfort alone could never provide. One day, someone will cross your path carrying the same fears you once carried. They will feel forgotten. They will believe their waiting has no purpose, and because you walked through this season, your words will bring them hope. Your story will become a light for someone else's darkest moment. That is how purpose often grows, not only through blessings received, but through hardships faithfully endured. So do not rush this chapter. Do not allow frustration to steal the peace that is growing inside you. Every step forward, no matter how small it seems, still matters. Every prayer spoken, my beloved child. You have come this far because your heart has chosen hope, even on the days when hope felt fragile. Many people turn back when the journey becomes difficult, but you are still here. That alone tells you something important. There is a quiet strength growing inside you. You may not feel stronger than you were yesterday, but strength is often recognized only after the storm has passed. A person does not discover how deeply their roots have grown until the winds begin to blow. The silence you have been experiencing is not always a sign that nothing is happening. Sometimes silence is where the greatest work begins. Think of the dawn. Just before the first light appears, the night reaches its deepest darkness. The world seems still. Nothing appears to change. Yet beyond the horizon, the sun is already rising even though your eyes cannot see it. Life often follows the same pattern. The season that feels the darkest can also be the season closest to a new beginning. This is why you must not let temporary discouragement become a permanent decision. Many people walk away moments before they would have discovered a new opportunity. They assume the story has ended simply because they cannot yet see the next page. But your story has another chapter. Every challenge you have faced has been teaching you something that success alone never could. You have learned patience when life moved slowly. You have learned compassion because you understand what disappointment feels like. You have learned gratitude for the small blessings that once went unnoticed. These lessons are becoming treasures that no circumstance can take away. Do not underestimate what has been built within you. Character is formed quietly. Integrity is developed through unseen choices. Wisdom grows when you continue to do what is right, even when no one is watching. There are people who will one day benefit from the lessons you are learning today. Your words will carry comfort because they will come from experience, not merely from knowledge. Someone who feels lost will hear your story and realize they are not alone. Someone who believes their waiting has no purpose will discover hope because you chose not to give up. In this way, your present season is already preparing you to become a source of encouragement for others. Perhaps you have wondered why certain dreams have taken so long. Sometimes dreams are delayed because they are connected to people you have not yet met. A conversation that has not yet happened, a friendship that has not yet begun, an opportunity that has not yet arrived. Life is made of countless connections that unfold in their own time. If one piece arrives too early, the picture remains incomplete. That is why patience is not passive. Patience is active trust. It is choosing to continue moving forward even when you cannot yet see the destination. Every day you continue with kindness, honesty, and faithfulness, you are planting seeds. Seeds do not become trees overnight. They grow quietly. Their roots spread before their branches appear. The same is true for your life. Never believe that your unseen efforts are meaningless. Every act of goodness matters. Every word of encouragement matters. Every decision to forgive matters. These small moments shape a future that is stronger than you realize. There will come a time when you look back and recognize that the greatest gift was not simply reaching your destination. The greatest gift was becoming the person you needed to become along the journey. Because destinations can change, achievements can fade, but the character you develop remains with you wherever life leads next. So continue walking with courage. Do not allow fear to define tomorrow. Do not allow disappointment to silence your hope. Lift your eyes beyond today's uncertainty. The path ahead may still be hidden, but hidden does not mean absent. The next chapter is already being written, even if you cannot read it yet. Trust the process. Embrace the lessons. Protect your peace. And remember this: whenever doubt begins to whisper, a delayed season is not an abandoned season. It can become the place where resilience is born, wisdom is strengthened, and hope becomes unshakable. Stay faithful. Stay hopeful. Keep moving forward. Because what is waiting ahead is not simply another day. It is the beginning of a chapter that will help you understand why every step of this journey mattered. And in the next part, we will explore the unexpected moment when waiting gives way to purpose, and the hidden lessons of this season begin to reveal their lasting impact. My beloved child, now you stand at a place where many people never arrive, not because the road was too long, not because the challenges were too great, but because they allowed disappointment to convince them that their story had already ended. You did not come this far simply to stop now. There is something extraordinary about the person who chooses to keep walking, even when every visible sign seems to say, "Turn back." That kind of perseverance quietly transforms a life. As you look behind you, notice something that you may have overlooked. You are not the same person who first began this journey. The fears that once controlled your decisions no longer have the same power. The disappointments that once felt unbearable have taught you resilience. The questions that once filled your mind have slowly been replaced with wisdom. This is what growth often looks like. It rarely announces itself. It happens one faithful day at a time. Perhaps you expected your greatest miracle to arrive as a single dramatic moment, but sometimes the greatest miracle is the gradual transformation of your own heart. Without realizing it, you have become calmer during uncertainty. You have become more patient with people. You have learned that peace does not always depend on perfect circumstances. These changes may seem small today, but one day you will recognize that they became the strongest foundation of your future. There is another truth you must never forget. Every season of waiting gives you a choice. You can allow it to fill your heart with bitterness, or you can allow it to fill your heart with wisdom. The choice you make today shapes the person you become tomorrow. Choose wisdom, choose kindness, choose hope, because these qualities remain long after difficult seasons have passed. Imagine a lighthouse standing beside the sea. The lighthouse does not stop the storm. It does not calm the waves. It simply continues shining. Its purpose is not to remove every difficulty. Its purpose is to guide others safely through the darkness. Your life is becoming like that lighthouse. The struggles you have overcome are giving you the ability to encourage people who are still facing their own storms. One day, someone will ask you how you kept moving forward when everything seemed uncertain. They will expect you to describe a perfect life. Instead, you will tell them about perseverance, about faith, about choosing hope when fear seemed easier. And your story will give them the courage to keep going. Never underestimate the quiet influence of a faithful life. Sometimes the greatest impact comes not from extraordinary achievements, but from ordinary people who refuse to give up. Even now, there are opportunities being prepared that you cannot yet recognize, conversations you have not yet had, doors you have not yet seen, friendships you have not yet formed, moments that will one day make you smile as you remember this very season. When those moments arrive, you may finally understand why life could not move faster than it did. Everything needed time, not because you were forgotten, but because growth cannot be rushed. A tree that grows too quickly often develops shallow roots, but a tree that grows steadily can stand firm through powerful storms. The same principle applies to your journey. The strength being formed within you today will support the blessings of tomorrow, so continue with confidence. Do not measure your life only by what has already happened. Also consider the unseen ways you have grown. Celebrate the patience you have learned. Celebrate the compassion you have gained. Celebrate the courage that now lives inside you. These victories matter. They are part of your purpose. There will always be people who only celebrate visible success. But true success begins long before anyone else notices it. It begins with a heart that chooses integrity over shortcuts, hope over despair, love over resentment, faith over fear. These quiet victories become the foundation of every meaningful life. As this chapter draws closer to its conclusion, remember this one lasting truth. The delay was never only about reaching a destination. It was about shaping a person who could arrive there with humility, wisdom, gratitude, and a heart ready to bless others. Your journey has never been meaningless. Every step has carried purpose. Every lesson has added strength. Every challenge has revealed another reason to keep believing. And now only one chapter remains. In the final part, we will bring this journey together and discover why, when you look back from the future, you may realize that what once felt like the longest delay became one of the greatest gifts of your life. My beloved child, if you have walked through every part of this journey, then you already know something that many people spend their entire lives trying to understand. Life is not measured only by how quickly we reach our goals. It is also measured by who we become while walking toward them. When this message began, you may have believed that the delay in your life was simply an obstacle standing in your way. But now, after reflecting on this journey, you can begin to see it differently. Delay did not stop your story, it shaped it. Every moment of waiting taught you something that comfort never could. Every disappointment strengthened a part of your character that success alone could never have formed. Every unanswered prayer invited you to grow in patience, wisdom, and compassion. Nothing has been meaningless, nothing has been wasted. Even the moments you wished had never happened have become part of the person you are today. One day, when you look back on this season, you may discover that the greatest blessing was not simply arriving at your destination. The greatest blessing was discovering a deeper faith, a calmer heart, and a stronger spirit. Along the way, that kind of treasure cannot be taken away. Life will continue to bring new chapters. Some will be joyful, some will be challenging, some will arrive exactly as you expected. Others will surprise you completely, but whatever comes next, remember what this season has already taught you. Do not allow temporary setbacks to convince you that your future has disappeared. Do not let closed doors define your worth. Do not let delays silence your hope. The future is not built only by extraordinary moments. It is built by ordinary days filled with faithful choices. Every kind word, every act of forgiveness, every decision to remain honest, every moment you choose courage instead of fear. These are the quiet victories that shape a meaningful life. Perhaps there are still questions in your heart. Perhaps there are still prayers that seem unanswered. That is okay. Not every question receives an immediate explanation. Sometimes, understanding comes only after the journey is complete. Trust that today's confusion does not determine tomorrow's clarity. The picture is larger than the single piece you can currently see. A beautiful mosaic cannot be understood by looking at only one tile. It becomes clear only when every piece has found its place. Your life is much the same. The moments that seem disconnected today may one day reveal a purpose that you could never have imagined. So continue living with gratitude. Continue showing kindness, even when the world encourages bitterness. Continue offering hope to people who feel discouraged. Continue believing that every season has value, even when it feels difficult. Because hope has a remarkable way of growing in hearts that refuse to surrender. And remember this, whenever doubt returns, the road may have been longer than you expected. The waiting may have tested your patience. The silence may have challenged your faith. But none of it was without purpose. Every step carried a lesson, every delay carried preparation, every challenge carried an opportunity to become wiser, stronger, and more compassionate. As you leave this message today, carry this truth with you wherever you go. Never judge your life by one difficult season. Judge it by the person you are becoming through every season. The chapters behind you have prepared you. The chapter before you is filled with possibilities. Walk into it with courage. Walk into it with peace. Walk into it with hope. Because your story is still being written, and sometimes the chapter you once wished to skip becomes the very chapter that gives the entire story its deepest meaning. Thank you for spending these moments reflecting with me. If this message encouraged your heart, carry its lessons into your everyday life. Share hope with those who feel discouraged. Choose kindness when it is difficult. And remember that every new sunrise brings another opportunity to walk forward with faith, wisdom, and gratitude.